Hey, y'all! I'm home. Can you believe that? Walked out here to get something out of this trailer and thought, well, hey, I'll just stay out here and talk to everybody this morning. Man, I wish I could say I felt great, but boy, I feel like I've been run over by a Mack truck. But what an awesome time we had in Florida. And Chris did a video yesterday to tell everybody all about it, and of course we were a little silly and giddy in the car, but hey, I want to tell you something. It was an awesome weekend. Now, Pat Drummond posted something last night, and it's got everybody asking me questions this morning. So I said, how am I going to explainify this? Oh, and by the way, your word of the day is skedaddle. So I hope y'all can use that word correctly. Now, Lorraine Walker is in Canada, and she used it perfect. And she said, hey, we use that word here. So there's hope for me, y'all. There is. I just love all this culture going on my Facebook page. But we did sing yesterday morning, and we were in Fountain, Florida, and Chris did get to the church first, and he had to set everything up yesterday morning, and we, Tracy and I rode with Megan, and he and Selena went on to the church, and so they got there about 15 minutes before we did, even though it sounded, you know, in his video like we had him do everything and then showed up. And, you know, Chris can exaggerate sometimes, but we got there 15 minutes later, and I noticed that there was a guy in the church. He had 3 bags. It was like 3 Walmart sacks, and it looked like everything the man owned in those 3 bags. And I said, who is that? Does he go to church here? And Selena said, no, said he came in early this morning, and he's got a toothache. And she said, I told him to wait till you got here. Said he's asking for money for Orgel. Well, my dental hygiene itself just kicked in, and I was like, well, Orgel ain't gonna do him a dab of good. If he's got a bad toothache or an abscess, I said, go get him, let me look at his tooth. So anyway, he comes in there and he begins to tell me that he needs something for his tooth, and he did. I mean, there was not a tooth in his head that didn't have a terrible cavity. He said he had an abscess back here, and I had him let me look at it. And so I asked him if he was allergic to anything, and he said he wouldn't. And I said, well, I have some antibiotic because I've been having a root canal done myself, and I can help you with that. And if you'll take it, it'll stop the infection, and then maybe you can get to a dentist. And he said, well, I got Medicaid. They only let me have 4 teeth pulled a year, and I've already had my maximum done of this year. And I said, well, you know, I can check in this area, you know, and I can look around in the dentist book. There are several doctors that have like a benevolent fund. And I said, when I get home, I'll try to help you if you'll give me your phone number. And so he, you know, begins to get his phone number and his name and everything for me. And so I went up to get my purse, and I don't know why. This is just typical Chris. I don't know why Chris didn't give him some money. He waited on me to get there. Imagine that. So anyway, I go up there to my purse to get the guy a little money for some Orgel and something to eat. And so I looked in my purse, and I had $25. And I thought, well, I'm going to get him out $25, and then I'm going to go talk to him, you know. And I just wanted to, you know, just kind of talk about Jesus a little bit and before he left. And I just really felt the need that, you know, the guy needed money for his Orgel, or, you know, but I knew that the medicine I gave him was going to help him, but I wanted to help him in another way, in a better way than just the tooth. And so I was digging through my purse to get him out the money. Well, then at the same time, Chris called me and said, hey, we need to get a sound check. So I walked up there and left everything laying there on the front pew. Well, he came in the church to sit down and listen to the sound check, and he sat beside my purse. And so we got through sound check, and I came down and I reached in there to get him his money out. And when I did, I noticed that the money bag was gone. So I thought, well, I must have left the money bag on the back pew when I first came in, because that's where I first laid my purse down. So I walked back to the money bag, and well, the money bag was laying there, and all the money we had for our table sales, and I mean, really all the money we had was down inside the money bag. And but when I opened it up and I looked in there, there was a $10 bill, 2 ones. My little prayer cards were gone, you know, where we do the prayer request cards. They were gone out there. And one of the business cards where we had gotten somebody's business card was laying on the pew. And I knew at that moment, I knew that somebody had been in my purse and gotten out the money bag and gotten the money. So there was nobody there but Hope's Journey and him. And I knew who it was. And so I don't really know what kind of mode I kicked in, but it's not crazy Alabama blonde-headed girl Pat Drummond. Come on now, give me some slack. I mean, I have to defend myself everywhere I go. But I got mad just a little bit. I thought, you know what? I got to have that money to get home. And then I thought, I'm up there trying to help him and get him out some money, and he's stealing from me. So, I really did. I got mad a little bit. And, the human side came out. So I said, where'd he go? Selena said, who? I said, the man. The man I was getting the money for. Where's he at? She said, he's in the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom door, to the men's bathroom, and I went. He said, yes, ma'am, I'm using the bathroom. I'll be right out. I said, well, I'll be right here waiting when you come out. So, he stayed in there, it seemed like forever, and I heard that, which this all makes sense now, when Chris was telling me what happened afterwards, I heard the tank, the tank make a noise, the back of the tank where the water comes in, and I thought, what's he doing? Will it not flush? Really, it's taking forever, so he never came out. Finally, I just opened the bathroom door. I said, hey, come out here, I need to talk to you. He was still in the stall. So I walked out, and when I did, there was a couple other people that had gotten to the church by that time, and I told the man, I said, will you go in the bathroom and get that man and bring him out here to me? So, anyway, I walked back in with the man. He was going to get him out, and when I did, the man was standing there. I had a lot of compassion for him. I was mad at him, but I really, when I looked at him, I just had so much compassion for him, I wanted to bust out and cry. Because, he's no different than anybody else. Yeah, he took my money, but we all fall short, y'all. We fall short every day. We all make mistakes. And we shouldn't hate him because his sin is different from ours. Because I can tell you right now, there's plenty of times that I mess up on a daily basis. And I thought I could just take him apart and get my money. But that ain't what God would have me do right now. So he was looking at my table like he was going to buy something. And I said, can you come here just a minute? I want to talk to you. So I just kind of pulled him aside, and we walked in right there. The nursery was on the side, and we were standing outside of it. And I said, I want you to give me back my money. I said, you don't know me, and I don't know you. I said, but while you were stealing my money, I was up there trying to get you some money out of my purse to give to you. And I said, God don't like it when people steal. And I said, sir, I know you're hurting, and I know you're hungry, and I know your tooth is hurting, but the way to get the money is not to take it. It's not to steal. And I said, I had no idea that I was going to be coming here today. And I said, you had no idea that you were going to meet me today. But I said, God knows everything. He knows you took the money. He knows where it's at right now. He said, search me, search me. It's not on me. Search me right now. I said, I don't have to search you, sir, because I got God on my side, and he already knows where it's at. He'll never honor anything you do if you don't make it right now. You need to make this right now. Go get my money and give it to me, and then let's talk. He began to cry. And when he did, he said, I'm sorry, ma'am. Will you forgive me? I said, absolutely. I won't only forgive you, I'll forget it. It's over. Forget it. Just go get my money, give it back to me. And we need to move from there. So I motioned for Chris to come back there with me. And Chris came back there and went in the bathroom with him. Well, he went back into the bathroom, picked the tank up, and he had rolled it all up and clipped it. And put it inside the tank. It wasn't his first time. Who'd have known to have done that? Really? And he didn't want to fall down in the water, It was a wad of money. And so they came back out and handed me the money. I said, I'm still going to give you some money. I still want to help you. But I just can't let you take everything we got to get home. And I said, I wouldn't be doing you a bit of good if I'd have just said, oh, well, he must have needed it worse than me, and let you have it. I said, because it's going to come up a time again when you're going to run into somebody that's going to have more money. And then you're going to get put somewhere that you can't get out. And I said, you got just a minute to walk in the nursery with me and Chris? And he said, yeah. So we walked in there, and I said, sir, I don't know why, but I just feel a need that to pray with you. And I said, I'm not judging you. I'm not even trying to, hurt you or make it where these folks at the church won't help you. And I said, I just don't understand. I don't understand why you don't understand that what you need is Jesus. And I said, if you died right this minute, I mean, just fell out and died right this minute, do you know where you'd go? He said, yes, ma'am, I'd split hell wide open. I said, well, you know, it don't have to be like that. I mean, it ain't hard, but I can't get you there. You know what? I can sing the best songs in the world, and I'm not the best singer in the world, but I could sing perfect, and I couldn't get you to heaven. I could pray and pray and pray, but I can't get you to heaven. You see, salvation between you and God, that's yours, and you got to work it out. But I tell you what I can do. If you want it, then Chris and I'd love to pray with you. Oh, man, how we'd love to see a soul saved today, because we travel so many times and we go in so many places and we sing in churches and they just hoot and holler and have a great time and love the singing, but they don't even use their altars much anymore. But listen, you could have went forever, your whole life, and not met me. You'd have been just fine. You could have went forever and not met Chris. You'd have been just fine. But you got to meet Jesus. Because Jesus is the one that'll be with you when you're out there in the cold with your toothache. The money that was in my bag, you'd win through that in just a few minutes. But it wouldn't have fixed your problems. But Jesus is the one. Jesus is the one that will change your life. And he will keep you from coming back to this place where you feel like you have to steal. He said, I want that. I want to be saved. We prayed. He got it. I want y'all to pray for John. Because those of you that are watching this and have been saved, you understand and you get it. That just because he prayed that prayer and just because he asked Jesus to come in his heart, don't mean that he don't wake up this morning with the same urge. You know, I got his phone number and I got his address, and I'm going to keep in touch with him. I'm going to let y'all know what I know about John. I didn't post this on here for any of you to think that I was trying to give myself glory, and I know that I'm going to hear it from a few of you. I'm not boasting up Vonda, I'm boasting up Jesus. I want you to know that Jesus, I'm boasting about Jesus. Jesus is everything. We see it every day. Things go missing in our workplaces, things go missing in our homes, in our families, and there's not one of us watching this video that couldn't fall for the same thing that John fell for. If you're there and you're that person, I have no idea why I'm saying it, but if you're there and you're that person, go make things right. Get things right with him. Maybe you've already been saved and you have just fallen. Fix it. Fix it. I don't think we have a whole lot of time, and I don't think that you guys think we have a whole lot of time. Let's make things right. If that's the only reason I went to Florida, y'all, it was great. It was wonderful. And yes, I'm a crazy blonde-haired woman, Pat Drummond, but it was just what needed to happen. It was just what needed to happen. Now, I had to get up there and sing and look like Tammy Faye. I mean, y'all black just running all down my face, and it wasn't waterproof. Boy, God showed up in the service yesterday. He used Tracy in a mighty way. Her testimony, her life, how she found herself in the lowest pit looking for peace. And God sent her peace. And he's fixed her whole world, her whole life. She's so happy. And we're so happy for them. But we watched and saw her pray with people, with women going through the same thing. And man, I tell you what, I may be crazy, but I'm crazy about him. Am I perfect? Heck no. Most of you that know me the best, you know I'm far from perfect. But I know somebody that is. Without any sin in his life, he died for me, and he died for you. And on this Memorial Day weekend and Monday that we're all going to be getting together with family today, let's not forget the ones that have died for us, for our country, the ones that fight. But boy, there's one that died for you that's the most important. And let's don't forget him today. Okay, y'all asked for it. I'm sorry. My little clock up there says it's 14 minutes long. So I hadn't done one in a few days. My Hey Y'all videos. So maybe you'll forgive me for this one being so long. And for those of you that don't want to watch them, just zap me. Zap. It feels good to zap people sometimes. See y'all.